Hey guys! Yesterday I received a commentary on one of my videos that inspired me to start a new series for UMVC3, the UMVC3 Myth series. The idea is to get possible myths or general wonderings and take them to the lab, but for me to do it I need you to help me by leaving the myths or wonderings in the comments so that I can test and bring you the answer. The comment I received was this. Three Evil Strikers said, you have to remember when doing a DHC into Doom at point blank range that Spear Flame does the most optimal damage for a level 1. And my answer was that as far as I know, Photon Array is better than Spear Flame at point blank range, but I'll test it out and I'll let you know what I find out. The reason why this person left this comment was probably because in the video I was playing Captain America, Doctor Doom and Spider-Man, and whenever I did Charging Star with Cap, I would follow the DHC for Doom with Photon Array. And most people use Spear Flame at point blank range, and in most situations it's gonna be the best option. But a lot of people don't know that Photon Array, when it's not in the air, you know, the classic version you always see like Doom jumping and doing plasma beam into Photon Array in the air, the ground version, it can deal more hits than the version in the air. I mean, the most hits the Doom can get in the air is 50, you know? But when you're at the ground, if you're able to get point blank range to your opponent, you can get more than 50 hits. And I'm gonna be showing you here a comparison from Doom, doing Spear Flame for you to see how much damage it does, and then doing Photon Array in different ranges, different situations. You can't really be sure on how to get the most amount of hits. You'll see that sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, but you'll see that it does do more damage than Spear Flame, and it can actually do considerably more depending if you get the right position for Doom to get the most amount of hits. I'm gonna leave you the comparison for you to see here, and I was wondering if that would happen during a combo. So I took Cap and Doom to the lab, and I was testing them to see if that actually worked during the combo, to see if it's actually better to use Spear Flame or Photon Array, and this is what I found out. When you do Spear Flame after Charging Star, you'll see that the damage is basically the 57 hits that Spear Flame does at the maximum amount of hits that Spear Flame does, and you're gonna get the full damage of the super always, no matter the situation. It's gonna work the maximum amount of damage. But the Photon Array super, it's gonna depend on how close Doom is to the opponent and how low you let the opponents be in relation to the ground. It's quite weird. You can't really make a way that will always work, but you'll see that depending on the timing that I do or the distance I do Shield Slash with Cap before the super, I get more or less damage, more or less hits for Photon Array, and you'll see that I can get more or less damage depending on what I get. And with Cap, I found that it isn't really worth going for Photon Array, because most of the time I get the less amount of damage for Cap's Charging Star. So in this situation, Spear Flame would indeed be a better option, because it's pretty much impossible to be consistent in getting more damage with Photon Array. But I also took that to other supers that might make Photon Array better, because they keep Dr. Doom extremely close to the opponent. They're at the most point blank as possible, because that is where Doom gets all the damage. So I tested out with other characters as well. Let me show you now. So you saw that some characters are better with Photon Array and some characters are better with Spear Flame. It depends a lot on the move, you know, and to just prove you now that sometimes one is better, sometimes the other is better, I'm gonna be doing 3 times the combo with Captain America. You'll see that's the same combo, and I'm gonna be using Photon Array to show you the consistency that most of the time you're gonna get less damage from Photon Array, and I'm gonna be showing you the consistency for Spencer Super, because that super doesn't matter if you don't get the perfect distance to do Photon Array, you're gonna do more damage than using Spear Flame. Sometimes you're gonna get a lot more, sometimes you're gonna get a little bit more, but it's consistent that using Photon Array after the Spencer Super is gonna be better. Whereas with Captain America, using the Spear Flame Super is going to be better. So in this comparison here, you'll see that consistency is the most important thing. So you have to try out for the character that you play. If you play Doctor Doom as your second character, try out using Spear Flame and Photon Array. Try to get the best distancing for Doom to be as close as possible with Photon Array, because that's where the super does its most damage. And then you can see which super is better depending on the character you play. So, for conclusions, which is better at point blank range? Spear Flame or Photon Array? Well, if you do that with the character standing in the corner, it's better with Photon Array because you can get the most amount of hits, and if you get the most amount of hits with Photon Array, it does more damage. But the situations that actually matter are when you DHC, because that is what you do in a match, you know, to get the most amount of damage. And in those situations, the best one, it's gonna depend on the hyper combo you do before Doctor Doom Super. If you're able to get the most amount of hits of Photon Array, then Photon Array is better. It does more damage than Spear Flame. But there are some situations where you cannot get all the hits or most amount of hits of Photon Array, because the hyper combo before doesn't position Doom in a good way to get all the hits. So it's gonna be better to use Spear Flame. It's best for you to try out for the characters you play. I've showed you a few, and the answer is it's gonna depend on the hyper combo that comes before. I'd like to thank Trival Striker for leaving that comment that inspired me for the series. And here's the answer I took to the lab, and I want you guys to leave your myths and your wonderings so that I can take them to the lab in a new episode. So, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Become a member of the channel to have access to special benefits like exclusive videos, exclusive lives, and priority for your requests. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later!